Yo, 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 what's going on, guys? Joey Dragonbuck is back here with another video, and in this video, we're going to talk about the game that wrapped up several hours ago. I know, doing it a little bit later today just because I had stuff to do after the game. But anyways, talking about the game that wrapped up between the Ravens and the Giants. First off, as always, big shout out to the Giants fans and the Giants team. It's a very, very well coached team. They're playing with a lot of heart, a lot of motivation right now. They're overperforming big time. And them winning today, it proves that they're at least a somewhat legit team. I don't think that they're elite, but they're definitely better than they have been in recent years. So congrats to the Giants, and good luck going forward. I mean, are you serious? Like, it's very upsetting, but it's also just really, really exasperating. It just really makes me mad. I gotta be honest. It's the same fundamental issues that cost us this game. First, missed opportunities. We'll start there. I would say the biggest missed opportunity that we had was when we had a first down and goal at the 5-yard line and could not do anything. We had a missed pass, Jackson kind of with a bad throw to Duvernay, and just with this a drop in the end zone. The ball was tipped a bit, but it absolutely should have been caught, and then Jackson couldn't connect with Likely. I forget what the score was at that particular time, but we absolutely should have scored a touchdown. Instead, we had to settle for 3 points. I think it was 10-7 us, and we were about to make it 17-7, but instead we stalled out. And I know we scored a touchdown later on in the game, but still, that would have changed the whole theme of the game. And it's momentum, man. Momentum is key, and we could not capitalize on that drive, and that was a big, big blow. What else? I mean, it's another thing. This is so unlike us this year, man. I think we have been one of the best teams in the past at closing games out. We have a lead, we hang on one way or another, and even if sometimes we run away with it totally, then times where we have a lead and we almost blow it, we almost always hang on. This year, it's just no. We had leads going into the fourth quarter by more than one possession, and we're just simply blowing it. We were up 10 points with 13 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and we could not finish the job. It's the same issue. That's how we lost against Buffalo. That's how we lost against Miami. It's how we have lost all of our football games this year. We can't close games out, and that has been so unlike us, man. As I said, I think we've been really good at closing games out in the past. Not this year. We just can't seem to close games out for some reason. And I am almost never going to blame the game on one singular person. And I'm not going to do that here either. I think there were several factors that contributed to this loss today. Defensively, I thought it was a very up and down day. I was really happy with how we did on Saquon Barkley. I thought in general we did well. He had no huge runs. We generally kept him in check. And honestly, Daniel Jones' passing stats were not great either. In general, I thought our defense was playing okay. But the issue is it folded at the worst time because it was 13-10. It did come up big. It was 13-7, and the Giants were driving down the field and they were threatening to take the lead with an extra point. But we held down in the red zone. We got a sack. Calais Campbell with his first sack of the season, I think. And we forced them to settle for 3 to make it 13-10. So that was good. Then the offense backed them up. We finally had some clicking of the offense and defense together, and we went down and scored to make it 20-10. But then the drive after that, our defense just just totally folded. They marched right down the field and make it 20-17. But then I'm trying not to blame them for giving up that second touchdown because oh my god. I really, man, as an honest fan, I will protect the quarterback at all costs. I will defend him. But you also have to be honest with yourself. And Lamar Jackson sold. He sold today. He absolutely sold. 2 turnovers at the worst possible time. I mean, how does that happen? And it was really too bad, guys. I think Lamar Jackson was totally doing his thing up until the final few drives. I know he did miss a couple throws. Duvernay on that missed opportunity drive, he could have hit him, I know. But there were also some drops, some miscommunications. I thought in general Jackson was doing his thing. Several of his throws were on point. He was making the right reads. He wasn't turning the ball over. He was protecting the ball. A lot of good stuff. But then he just absolutely sold, man. How does that happen? God, I mean, that third down and that interception that he threw, I mean, what in the world was that? So much wrong there. First off, it was a I think it was a fine snap. I think Linderbaum just snapped it before Jackson was ready for it, so it went back. It was a bad snap regardless, but Jackson picked it up and he's trying to make a play out of it. And I will say, if I'm a fan of, like, if the ball goes, if it's a bad snap behind the line of scrimmage, but you pick it up and you do have a play, I'm totally willing to try to make a play out of it, but not when you're throwing it to our fullback in double coverage. He was trying to throw it to Ricard, I think, who was just at the line of scrimmage in double coverage. What are you doing? I mean, sometimes a play is there. We've seen crazy things happen when snaps go like behind the quarterback. Seattle and Minnesota, I remember in 2015. Like, I know that crazy stuff can happen, but not in that case. There was no play there. I know it would have been frustrating. We would have had to punt, but Jackson, if you throw that away, we punt the ball, we at least force the Giants to have to drive all the way down the field, and we give our defense a chance to come up big. Instead, he throws a bad pick, horrible positioning. Everyone else is on the other side, and they get a good return out of it, and they have like a first down and like the 15 or something, and they score a touchdown. And then, of course, the third down and 3 that we got into a third down. Pressure was coming. Jones threw it in single coverage. Got picked by Marcus Peters, but he got flagged for pass interference. It wasn't a good throw by Jones, but I think made the flag more and more frustrating. It was like behind him. It was a bad throw, but it definitely was. It definitely looked like Peters hooked him and grabbed him. So I couldn't complain about the call, and I really had no reason to blame the refs because it never should have been in that situation. Now, to be fair, that third down, it never should have been in that situation either because it was a 3rd and short. We were running a QB sneak, and it was a smart play by Jackson. It was a QB sneak, but he didn't like go right over the center into the pile. He waited and made a cut to the left. It was perfectly done. Well done, first down. Yay, we can keep going. Oh, no. We have to have a freaking illegal formation or whatever the hell it was. Kenyon Drake was like on the outside, and apparently like he wasn't lined up correctly. Stanley was on the end of the line, and there's some rule about the formation. I don't even know what it is, but we had an illegal formation, and that was just an icing on the cake to just horrible communication offensively today. We had so many pre-snap penalties, false starts, illegal shifts, illegal formations, whatever you want to call it. So many pre-snap penalties, and none of that had too much of an impact, except for the final one, which arguably cost us the game because we had a first down there. That would have been our second first down of the drive. We were running the ball really effectively. We were close to closing the door. But no, we have to have a stupid illegal formation to negate a first down, and then 3rd and 6, we turn the ball over. Again, there is no excuse for what Jackson did. That was just horrible decision making on all costs. But it's still never should have gotten in that situation. And again, blown opportunities. In fact, in this time, which makes it even more frustrating, it's one thing to have the opportunity and just like simply drop a ball or something. We had the first down. We literally got it, but it got called back because of a freaking illegal formation call. And again, I'm not blaming the refs. I'm blaming the offense in general. Again, communication, execution, bad. Just horribly done. Now, and another thing that's really upsetting is there were a lot of positives today. There really were, especially in the first half. I don't know where he came from, but Kenyon Drake today was running with some power. Now, of course, there's all kinds of disputes going on. Oh, we barely fed J.K. Dobbins. What is going on? And Dobbins, if you've been following the media, he clearly has expressed that he's upset about the lack of carry he's been getting. Last week, I think it was last week after the game, he liked tweets that were saying like, "Oh my God, how could you feed Dobbins this little?" So he is getting a bit frustrated. But today it was even worse. We fed him in the first half, and in the second half, I don't even think he got a single touch. But after the game, Harbaugh said that his knee was tightening up. So apparently Dobbins had not like a separate injury, but his knee was bugging him. Apparently, I don't know if that was a cop out from Harbaugh or if it was true. We'll find out soon enough, I guess. But that didn't really have a big impact on the game because Kenyon Drake was really, really good today, man. Over 100 yards. He was breaking tackles. His vision looks good. And I was really impressed with the offensive line today. I thought in both pass blocking and run blocking, our offensive line was very, very good. Now, Morgan Moses went down, I think, in the second quarter, so that meant that McCary had to go to right tackle. But another big takeaway was that meant that Stanley had to play a lot more because we were still swapping Stanley and McCary at left tackle. But now that McCary had to step in at right, that meant that Stanley had to play the rest of the game. He held strong, he played the rest of the game, and it seemed like he got out of there just fine. So that's nice to see. But again, the injuries, man, they never end for us. Fortunately, Moses, after getting carted off, so our first instinct was, oh, great, here comes another season-ending injury. But no, he actually, after getting carted off, he put his helmet back on, he got back out in his uniform, and he came out in the second half. So he had his helmet on the sideline. He never went back into the game, but the fact that he came back out in uniform is definitely a sign that it's not a significant injury. And Harbaugh also didn't provide any update after. I feel like if it was serious, he would have known by then, but we'll see. And then besides that, I think we got out of the game healthy. So at least, I mean, again, Domin's knee apparently tightened up, but it's not like he re-injured something, as far as I know. So oddly enough, the one game where we get out of it semi-healthy, we lose, of course. Yeah, it's just, we got to play better, man. There's just so many flaws with this team right now, and I knew we were never going to the Super Bowl, and I predicted us to miss the playoffs, but I still didn't expect this. I really thought we were going to play better than this. I didn't expect us to be 3-3, and I also didn't expect us to be absolute choke artists and just selling the game in the end. Very, very much unlike us, and I don't know, man. I'm really worried about our future. We got a division game next week, then we got to play Tampa Bay. Now, granted, I mean, no, the teams are beatable. The Browns are not good. They lost today. The Bucs are 3-3 as well. A lot of 3-3 teams. Our division is mid. I know the Steelers actually beat the Bucs today, so props to them. The Bengals came back and beat the Saints. I was pulling for the Saints, but the Bengals pulled it out. But they're only 3-3. Again, our division, we are still in control of the division, but we can't keep relying on our teams, our divisional teams, to lose so we can, stay in first place. We need to win the games on our own. We need to control our own destiny, and we're not doing that right now. Simply just, I know we won last week, but we have got to win these big games, and we couldn't do it today. And again, the icing on the cake for Lamar Jackson is, so he throws that bad pick, and then the Giants cash in and take the lead 24-20. We had almost 2 minutes left, all 3 timeouts, and Jackson turns it over. On the second play, I think, he lost the ball. I think it was Bitabal. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Stripped him, and we lost the ball, and that was all she wrote for. The Giants just needed 1 first down. They got it, and that was the game. So yeah, it was pretty much, Jackson doesn't usually sell like this. He absolutely sold today. 2 turnovers, back-to-back drives in the end. Just horrible timing, man. Just a bad decision making by him. I mean, the pick was bad, and then when he was getting rushed by Fittable, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Protect the ball, dude. You can't just have it one hand when he's coming at you like that. You got to protect the ball. So I guess the line didn't do very well on that play, but the offensive line in general was good today, and we ran the ball very effectively. Kenyon Drake had a huge game. So our run blocking was very good. Our pass line I thought was fine, and our offensive line in general is coming alive. I think our line's been pretty good. The issue has been our passing game has been very in and out, and our defense can be on, but it can also be really off, and it decided to be off at the worst possible time today. Pass rush, I thought we were okay. We got a few, I know Matabuke got a sack, Campbell got a sack. Travis Jones, on the first play from the Giants, actually got his first sack of the season, so that was nice to see. But it wasn't enough. But again, it's not like the pass rush was the reason we lost this game. The reason we lost this game was our offense decided to start. Lamar Jackson decided to turn the ball over twice in the end, and our defense decided to fold in the end. Again, collaborative, bad effort. And, guys, it's early. It's only week 6, but I guess, those 18 weeks. We're now 1/3 of the way through the season, so I guess we can do some assessments here. I am giving us a C at best. We have been inconsistent. There are times where we have looked good. There are times where we have looked very solid, in fact. But it hasn't been enough, and there have been too many occasions where we have just played absolute garbage. So 1/3 of the way through, I'm not feeling very good about this team. There's a lot of issues. I know we're injured. I know we do have guys coming back. Tyus Bowser, excuse me. Tyus Bowser, David Ojabo, Gus Edwards. Really looking forward to having them back, but can only use excuses for so long, and injuries were not the reason we lost this game. The reason we lost this game was we psyched ourselves out, we shot ourselves in the foot, and we decided to lose the game ourselves. We did not want to win this game. The Giants did, and they went out and got it. So, that's really all I got for this one, man. It's frustrating. We have to figure out how to pull out these big games, and we just got to play a lot better as a team. So guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And I am out. Have a great night. Thank you so much for watching. Go Ravens, man. Hopefully we can turn it around. And I will see you guys next weekend.